Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Simply Maggie, where I teach you all things DIY yarn related. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super easy Christmas stocking. It's so cute with the little loop to hang it. And I'm going to take you step by step through this pattern and show you how to create this. It works up super fast because we're using bulky yarn and larger needles. So let's go ahead and get right into the tutorial. So you're going to need circular needles, and I am using US 15 10mm needles. The yarn that we're going to be using today, this is a different color than what I'm going to be using. I'm actually using this one. This is the Premier Sophie yarn. It is a bulky number 5 yarn, and this one is in the color Oat. And I will put the name of this color on the screen here. With your circular needles, you're going to make a slip knot. We have to cast on 28 stitches, so you want to make sure you have a long enough tail. Pinch the two ends together, and then you're going to twist it and grab the working yarn, pull that up to make a loop. That's your slip knot. Go ahead and insert your needle, tighten that up, and we're going to cast on total of 28 stitches. I'm using the long tail cast on method. 3, the slip knot counted as the first stitch. 5. Okay, so I have my 28 stitches. You're going to need a stitch marker. Now what we're going to do is join in the round. Okay, so to do that, you want to spread your stitches out. I'm using 16-inch, I believe, circular needles, so it is a little like stretched out and tight on the first few rounds, but then it does get easier once you knit a few rounds. So we're going to slip one stitch from our left needle over to our right needle, just like that. And to join in the round, you want to take this first stitch over here, now it's the second stitch, and you're going to pull it over. Okay, you're going to pull it over the stitch you just put on that needle and off of the needle and drop it just like that. And then you can go ahead and tighten that, and you can put your stitch marker on your right needle. And now we're going to begin knitting. So now we have 27 stitches total. We're going to begin knitting. I know this kind of looks a little funny here, my needles, but that's okay because it'll get easier the more rows we do. We're going to knit 43 rows using only the knit stitch. So we're going to knit every single stitch for 43 rows. And I'll show you how it gets easier. So just continue knitting your stitches. So we're coming up on the end of our first row. We're going to knit the last stitch and slide your stitch marker over, and you're just going to continue. This will be row 2. And this stocking knits up super fast because we're using large needles and bulky yarn. And we're coming up on the end of our second row. Slip our stitch marker over, and we're just going to continue knitting. So now we're on to row 3. See, we're already getting a little bit better here with our tightness of the stitches. And the end of row 3, slide your stitch marker over, and we're just going to continue knitting. So by round 3 or row 3, it gets much easier with the tightness of the stitches on the needles. They don't stretch out as much, and then the more you knit, the easier it gets. So I'm going to continue knitting we're going to knit a total of 43 rows. This is 3 rows here. So knit a total of 43 rows, and then I will show you how to work on your heel of your stocking. So here we have our 43 rows. The next thing we're going to do is knit 13 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 13. And then we're going to turn our work. Now we're going to purl all 13 of those stitches that we just knit. 1, 2, we're going to repeat those last 2 rows until we have a total of 50 rows. So we need to knit 5 more rows. So we're going to turn our work again, and we're going to knit all 13 stitches. This is row 46. Oops. Turn, row 47, we're going to purl all the stitches. So purl all 13 for row 47. And turn, row 48, we're going to knit all of our stitches. All 13 stitches, I should say. Turn our work, row 49, purl all your stitches. Turn your work, row 50, knit your stitches. Turn your work again. Row 51, we're going to purl 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3. After you purl those 11 stitches, you're going to purl 2 together as if they're one. So you're going to go into 2 stitches. If I can get that one on my, there we go. And we're going to purl them together as if they are one stitch. All right, and then go ahead and turn your work. Row 52, you're going to knit 10 stitches, and then you're going to knit 2 stitches together. And 10, and we're going to knit these 2 stitches together as if they're one. Turn your work and move on to row 53, and you're going to purl 2 stitches together. So these 2 stitches, you're going to purl them together, and then you're going to purl 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 7. And then you're going to purl 2 stitches together. All right. Next, you're going to turn your work. Row 54, you're going to knit 2 together. You're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to knit 2 together. Turn your work again. On row 55, you're going to purl 2 together. Purl 2 stitches together. Purl 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to purl 2 together. Turn your work. Row 56, knit 2 together. Knit 1. Knit 2 together. Now you have 3 stitches left on your needles. And now in row 57, we're not going to turn our work this time. We're going to place our stitch marker, place it on your right needle. Okay, so now we're going to pick up and knit 5 stitches after we've placed our stitch marker. You want to knit them along this edge here, so we are going to spread them out. And you want to make your way to this left needle. So I'm going to skip a couple, and then I'm going to go into this stitch here, wrap the yarn around and pull it up through that. So that's 1. I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to go into this one here, wrap your yarn around and pull it up. That's 2. I'm going to go into this one. That's 3. I'm going to go into this one here. That's 4. And then we need to go into one more, so I will go into here. Actually, I just want to go into there. And that is 5. Now you've made your way over to your left needle. So now we're going to continue knitting the rest of these stitches on this needle. So now what we're going to do is knit up the right side of the edge of the heel. So we're going to pick up again and knit 5 stitches to make it to our left needle. One, two, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have made it back to our left needle. So now we're going to knit the remaining stitches on our left needle. Move our stitch marker over. We're going to move on to row 58, and we're going to knit all the stitches, and we're going to repeat that until we have a total of 74 rows. This is row 58. And now I have finished up row 58. I'm going to move on to row 59. And I'm going to continue knitting in the round until I have a total of 74 rows. And then I will come back and show you how to end your stocking. So I have completed all of my rows, 74 rows, and now on row 75, we are going to knit 12. 1, 2, 4, 5, 12. We're going to then knit 2 together, knit 2 stitches together. Then we're going to knit 11 stitches. 11. And then we're going to knit 2 together. Move your stitch marker over. Now row 76, we're going to knit 12 stitches. Once you've knit your 12 stitches, you're going to knit 2 together. And then you're going to knit 9 stitches. And then you're going to go ahead and knit those last 2 stitches together. Move your stitch marker over, and now onto row 77. We're going to knit 11 stitches. And 11. We're going to knit 2 stitches together. Knit 9 stitches. And then you're going to knit 2 together. You can go ahead and remove your stitch marker. You're going to need a yarn needle. We're going to cut our yarn, leaving about a 12-inch tail. Thread that through your yarn needle. Just going to move all my stitches onto this needle here. And you're just going to move all of those stitches onto your tail. So you're going to thread the yarn needle through all of your stitches, pull it through, and we're going to just do that through all the stitches and cinch the toe of your stocking closed. Put your needles aside, go ahead and pull that tail through. I'm going to go through one more stitch here. We're going to cinch that closed. Be careful not to break this yarn, it is delicate. And then I'm going to go through one more here, and we're going to knot it, or make a knot to secure it. So I've got a loop here, I didn't pull it all the way through. I'm going to go through that loop, tighten the previous loop, and we're going to go through this loop and pull tight. And then we're just going to thread this tail through the center. Put your hand in the stocking and just pull that through. And you can put take your yarn needle off of that. And now we're going to weave in our tail from the beginning of our stocking. I like to weave mine into the inside of the stocking. So I'm just going to kind of go along. You could also use this as the hanging part of the stocking if you just want to tie a knot and use it as the loop to hang. I'm actually going to crochet a loop for mine. Okay. I'm going to trim that tail. And now I'm going to, this is optional, you could use that as that tail to hang your stocking. I'm going to make a little crochet chain. So I have this crochet hook here. You could use any size you want. I'm going to find the end of my yarn. I want to make a slip knot. Leave a tail long enough to tie this and attach it to your stocking. So you make your slip knot. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20. So I did a chain of 20. Go ahead and cut your yarn from the skein. So you want to find the back of your stocking, the center of the back. I'm going to place both ends of the loop onto my crochet hook. Then I'm going to insert it into the center my stocking. We're going to yarn over, pull that through the stocking, and then you're going to pull it through both of those loops there. And then we're going to yarn over and then pull that through. Go ahead and pull that up. And now we're going to make a knot. So I'm going to pull this yarn through this loop, not all the way. I'm going to make another loop like that, and then you can pull it all the way through. The next thing I'm going to do is tie these two strands together, these two tails here, and I'm going to just weave in the tails with my yarn needle. Go ahead and trim those, and you have your loop to hang your stocking. And now your stocking is complete. One thing you could do, if you wanted to, is fold the top down, just like that, and then attach this loop right here. Or not, you could leave it unfolded. It makes a more simple look. But that's it, you're all done. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section down below. I will do my best to get back to you and help you out. Please tag me in your pictures on Instagram. I would love to see your finished product and how you decorate with them this holiday season. And that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.